Just like I do medicine on a Moscow inside Nagi Jovi, Warabane, Nadokia, Wachaka, Lumisakaro, Yonavege, Yellow Begila, Yaoyan Chabana, Lenzuele, Kamukana Nohi Bogahona, when I'm lady was inside. And Begnalabini Vaga, Abalaria Pagataba, Yabotoba, Avioyan Chamwana, Lenzuele, or me a Vinivaga, Ababa University, Yavenda, Abja Univinica, or me or Matomoka Flinamo, Gnalena, Audrey, Ramalepe, Nabila Habe, Privillege, Manyike, Barbara Blebadia Mwaka, or Mafele, or Nafale University, Yavenda, Homeabiali, Banabilibadia, and a practical or revision South Africa, or Navitalaga to Samushaka, or me give out Barrega, a Belagari Nutritionists, Campana, Bagahona, Mulibili, was inside the Gaudiano, Renamista Bagaseki, Bamona Moscow insider. Torella, Relabna Moscow insider.
Hey, thank you, Joe.
Inablia Wachorgaro, Ovegila, Yaonya Chamona Zuele. We are in a breastfeeding week.
Yes.
So can you please elaborate or explain to our viewers what do we do actually during this week?
This week, we support, promote, and protect breastfeeding. And it is celebrated every year from the 1st to the 7th of August. So every year there's a theme for breastfeeding. This year's theme is protect breastfeeding, a shared responsibility, which means that breastfeeding is not only for breastfeeding women. It's for everyone to protect, to support, and to promote breastfeeding, including our fathers, the health workers, and our employers. Meaning that health workers need to provide information and have enough resources to support and promote breastfeeding.
Oh, okay, right. Let's first maybe take it to work. How do an employer support a mother with breastfeeding?
Okay, an employer can support a breastfeeding mother by giving them a break, a 30 minutes break, twice per day to go and breastfeed. It's either you express the breast milk or you directly feed the baby. Or if you are staying closer to the workplace, you can go for a break and breastfeed the child.
Yes. Okay, right. One more thing that I just want to understand. How do men take part? How do men support? How do men support? Anyone can answer.
Men make sure that the women, they give chance to the women so that they breastfeed. They give them time, enough time. They help them with the chores around the house so that they can get time to breastfeed the baby. And they also help with the baby, changing the nappy, washing the clothes, things like that, yes.
Okay, right. Now we are going to talk about the Privillege wana Moscow insider. Panamliba going to talk I will talk about the Uri, Abiroga, Abatuafa Bafabana, Bajabana, being Mushumo, the Baba, Rekatati, Matabina Kono, Gatseka, Bonabasadi, or Babakonogana, Unyan Chabana, Panababona, Mafi, Alizue, Legam Kanamui Bagahona, Banabiliba, Wachahabo, Reguatogor, Legona, being Mamushumo, Lekono, Gafa, Abanabasadiba, Nago, Yaurabakone. Uyu mamisa bana babona kaulele ngoya botori kakuwayo bakamana bini atinya habo rutuse le wana basadi ba kamishwa shumwana yiba ona urle bona babele nako yakhono kanancha abana ababona abiale rekabusa ona ka ba bothogwa biyawo nyantsha ngwana le tswele na e ka ba bofu.
Okay, the benefits of breastfeeding a child. Breast milk is the foundation of life. It's a gift that a mother can ever give to her child. Yes. It provides antibodies. These antibodies are able to protect the child against infections. And also it has the ability to prevent diseases such as diarrhea and chest infections. And another benefit is that it is essential. It provides the essential nutrients needed for child growth and development. There's no need for a mother to give a child medicine or water because it has all the nutrients, protein, water, and whatsoever. And it also has a benefit for women. When you are breastfeeding, it prevents, it has an ability to prevent the risk of ovarian and ovarian cancer and breast cancer. So it's easy to digest, and there are no risk of contamination since you are not preparing it. It's just natural.
Yes, it also helps to facilitate bonding between the mother and the baby. Yes.
Okay, meaning there is mutual benefits between a mother and a child.
Yes.
Okay, right. Kam khona mle ba ile ja gona ba bo tshora wa ke tole bothwa ku dutsa beng ya hore bona bela ka motswadi do khona ka mamisa ngwana wa hao ba bo tshara wa una le ditore khona o ka pole ya ka tsona he una bili wa re o mamisa ngwana wa hao bona bela ka mma ya bo tshore o khona ka F1 mama malwetsi he wa re o mamisa ngwana wa hao na mbele ngwana wa hao ya bo tshore ya a khona mama mafi ya kwa umma wa hawe una ba awula habo zikar atwa khumile wana mu lebeledi wa se insider ka mkhwana mle go ba ileja o ka hona really una le taba ya hore abangwe ba re asibatswani ka moka abana ba mamisa mutomwe ikaba ke nento o ba se nento mutomwe ba uja from hospital that you don't have to breastfeed.
Yes. Kuna minkarhi yin'wani va nga ku byela ku you don't have to breastfeed due to medical conditions. Yes.
But as far as I know, every hospital or the Department of Health is promoting breastfeeding. Yes, they don't promote the use of formula unless if it's stated by a medical doctor or use of medicine. They want mothers to exclusively breastfeed for the age of 6 months. You don't give anything, just breast milk.
Oh, okay, right.
You don't even give water because breast milk itself contains enough water for the baby. Yes.
Oh, okay. Nambe una le ba bangwe ba sa di ba le hore ba re ke ba amola matswele a me ba amola mafi again ba sia gara something ngwana sala mama le yona re maybe like breastfeeding ba.
Yes, we call it express feeding. It's when loko mutswari ateka mafi and then amachela inside a container. It must be stored safe in a refrigerator, and then when the babies when you want to feed the baby, then you warm it and give it to the baby.
Oh, okay, right.
Yes.
Then auna phaban maren amafi awamolwa le mafi awa straight from the breast.
No. The only difference will be that the baby will be feeding from the nipple and the other baby will be feeding from a bottle. But they're all getting the same thing, which is breast milk. Yes.
Okay, right. Nambili ya mchara roko nambili wana masko sa inside ya tsabado ni mewa warwa rute ya nga mkama nambili ba ile ija uka hona. Mwale bageli ya replaga rola fast la wale COVID-19. Ne? Elili beluche ka bulina. Sala botho or basali ba mamis during this time ya COVID-19.
Yes, it's important. Since COVID-19 cannot be transferred through breastfeeding, so we encourage mothers to continue breastfeeding, but they must follow the safety precautions of COVID-19, washing their hands before touching their babies, washing their hands or sanitizing their hands, and then they wear a mask and then breastfeed. When you feel like you are very sick, you can express the milk and then you give another family member to feed the child with a cup.
Yes.
Okay, right. So how do we know now is the time to breastfeed?
We know now is the time you look at the child feeding cues. If the child will end up or like a sugar or a blanket or even the clothes, we know sometimes when irritated, yeah, things like that. And also logo yisabo koreye kumbe hloko ka vele ramana.
Ya ke mkhona mle baleja ka wana masikose inside wana mle buda sikose inside ka mkhona mle baleja rawa engwana lo go kina ga ore mama o do mona athoma o leja taba ya mama menwana a bile ha bre taba fela anutha thoka fele tswele ile hi aleja ore o tua aya ka o mama a bile ke bore ba khona ga re leja ore na mo khwa maleba wa umamisa n'wana na hi ka vakofi
ndlela yinene ya ku mamisa n'wana I ku mutswari u fanele a tshama comfortably eka xitulu u nga va ku ri henhla ka bed a tshama nhlana wela nga ta ka nga hatla karhala hi khoma na so loyi ku ta va ku ri n'wana hehe hi khoma n'wana so hi sapota nhloko ya n'wana hi n'wi khoma so and then hi khoma vele in a cup shape like this hi khoma vele in a cup shape hi make sure a hi pfali laka areola leswi hi swi vitanaka ku nipple or laka brown or black hi veka hi khoma so hi vekela ka n'wana ka nomu wa n'wana so loko hi twa n'wana a ku swi vula swa ku n'wana a nga le ku mameni kumbe a ku humi meleka wa enough n'wana u fanele a nga endli sawundi loko a ri ku mameni inkomu Joy.
okay pila ri ndzi veka n'wana u xava
hi ta vona loko a tshika vele hi ye vini yeah and na xin'wana I ku n'wana wa mamisiwa mavele hinkwawo a wu cincacinci leri u tlhela u cinca leri u fanele u make sure ku I mama leri a heta u swi twa swa ku a ka ha ri na nchumu loko a ha lava ku continue a mama ni nga yisa ka leri and then na rona ni n'wi mamisa until a tshika hi ye vini leswi swa ku va ku u nga n'wi mamisi ngopfu u ta tshika n'wana a mama a za a xurha a tshika hi ye vini
okay una leyi vona leyi u fala va ri eni ma asalya mafiyalo va wona
yeah leswi hi nga ta byela vamhani I ku whatever you ingest or hinkwaswo leswi mi dyaka swo swi tivi leswaku n'wana u ta dya swo loko u dya healthy leswaku n'wana u ta kuma swilo u ta va right u ta va healthy breastfeeding women must make sure that they eat healthy va tshama va kha va ri hydrated va nwa mati va nwa juice
and warm drinks milk production ita increase so leswaku ku fumela we encourage mothers to breastfeed in demand every time you feel like you can breastfeed you breastfeed not setting time to say okay I'll breastfeed after 1 hour or what every time when you see a child that okay he's showing those cues you breastfeed
okay right ebile kuna le myth about breastfeeding. So can you maybe share with our viewers the myth that you know that are associated with breastfeeding?
The myth I swilo leswi vanhu va swi hleketaku about ku mamisa n'wana vele leswi nga riki ntiyiso xin'wana xa so I ku vanhu va hleketa ku loko munhu a ha ku heta ku veleka n'wana va hleketa ku mafi lawa ya humaka ya masungulo a ya enough for n'wana a endli n'wana ku a xurha van'wana va hleketa ku mafi lama ya mathakile no that's not the case mafi lawa ya not enough nutrients for the baby's needs ya endla ku n'wana luya a xurha and another thing vanhu va hleketa swa ku vele ra n'wana ri loko munhu a ri na vele lerikulu swi vula swa ku u na meleka wa ku tala loko a ri na vele leritsongo swi vula swa ku u na meleka lowutsongo a swi tani size of the breast doesn't determine the amount of the milk or milk supply yes
van'wanyana vatswari they don't breastfeed because they think breastfeeding changed the shape of the breast that's not true breastfeed ku mamisa a swi cinci nchumu ka shape ya vele ra munhu and then another thing van'wana va hleketa ku mamisa in public swi khomisa tingana no va fanele va encouragewa ku va mamisa everywhere va va confident
but what's tingana
is to feel embarrassed
okay right vanhu va ngri thoni
Yes.
Okay right ke yona byale kamkhina mbe ba ka hona ba bontsha hore una le maga a yona bile a mantshwa le taba ila ya mamisa ngwana le tswele ba ngwana bile ba bontsha hore ba ngwana na hore mthomong he una bile mamisa ngwana ha le tswele o ka fatsa ile hore matswela a hao anamba a ka se go se hore o do sa serati ona mo le bile sa se sai na bila ka le bo bontsha hore bangwe ba re mamisa ngwana phatalaja ke mo re ba fela ba a diwa ke tsona a dithoni ka mkhina mbe ba ka hona pele una ba bangwe ba le ba tshepa hore ene ba mamisa bana ba bona ba tlo fola ja ba loza weight
One of the benefits of breastfeeding is that you can lose the weight that you gained after pregnancy. But you feel like you are losing too much weight, you need to eat healthy, eat the right amount of food, eat the right amount of nutrients that are required by the body. Yes.
Okay, right. Mona ba nga bebe ba tseba hore mafi a se bjale bjale. Le re di formula.
Yes.
Gergen ana le benefits di ja phala o breastfeed.
No, that is not the case. No amount of formula le itulaka ku mafi ya mani. Ambiyo durisa queen, amikoba kuri 500 and something. Breast milk is the best. That's what we recommend. Breast milk is the best. It contains all the optimum nutrients that are needed in the body. And as we said, it also contains antibiotics. As far as I know, there is no formula that contains antibiotics. And breast milk, it doesn't have allergies or it doesn't cause allergies on the baby.
Formula it's a bit risky because unika nwana without knowing kuri tafika endla yini nwana angaba allergic to something or an ingredient that they put on the formula. And another thing, it's time consuming to prepare formula. Shulaba, you wash the bottles and whatsoever, and when you don't do the correct thing, it means there will be contamination. And then you are putting your child in a risk.
Okay. Una le mogienga o itse bataba. Una le balore aba breastfeed from day one. They don't breastfeed. Or now what happens to them? Mafiela ya really.
Eventually, breastfeeding starts when you are pregnant. There are certain hormones let it end like milk supply bako kumbe meleka yaba yariko. Eventually those hormones start drop and then meleka ukhelela nzako kumbe munhu anga mamisi.
Okay, right. Molaeja wala mthomana ka usiale abale bethu basikose inside coffee. Maybe the message you can leave with our community at large regarding breastfeeding.
All I can say is breast milk is the foundation of life, of everything. So if a child is not breastfed enough, it will have problems when growing up. And some children will have poor cognitive functioning. You'll see that your child is not active at school. It's because there was a shortage of breast milk. So breast milk is the best.
Yes. Breast milk also prevents other diseases, and as a country, South Africa, we are experiencing a very high rate of malnourished babies. So if we breastfeed as required, we breastfeed properly, breastfeed as recommended, it means that the rate of malnutrition will decrease. Preterm labor will not be there, or that the preterm labor will decrease. Infant mortality, or even the premature death. Some of the premature deaths are caused by not being breastfeeding.
Okay, right. But I can local language. Or is it possible for Privillege to breastfeed Audrey's child? Is it possible?
Yes.
Or is it something that we can encourage?
It's not something that we can encourage per se, but when a child, more like sometimes you find out a mother passes away after giving birth. You don't breastfeed directly from Privilege's breast. It means that Privillege must express the milk and then you feed it to the baby.
Okay, right.
And there are women who donate breast milk.
Oh, okay, right. So how do we know that now I've done my part, I don't have to breastfeed anymore? I mean, how do we know that now she is so old or he's older, I don't have to breastfeed him or her anymore?
We encourage women to breastfeed beyond 2 years. If you see that now you can be, if the baby is 2 years and you feel like, okay, now I can no longer breastfeed due to I'm going to work, things like that, or I'm going somewhere far, I can no longer be in the same place with the baby, or the baby is now going to preschool or school. But that's when you can say I can no longer breastfeed. It's up to the mother, but we encourage beyond 2 years.
Oh, okay. So that's really very good. Someone as well, like
Yes.
You don't just stop, but you must do it gradually. Let's say you are used to breastfeeding every 1 hour, and then when you want to stop, it means you will breastfeed. You will shorten the period of breastfeeding slowly until you stop completely.
It's more like kuthikisa munhu kudza fole or kunwa bdzala, cause breast milk ka n'wana it becomes a habit ka yehe ku ri wa mama. So loko u tshikisa munhu kudza fole u nge vheti u n'wi tekela, obviously that child or that person is going to give you a problem. So hi fanele hi swi tshika hi switsongotsongo, hi swi tshikisa hi xitsongotsongo hi ndlela liya xi dlina xi tolovela ku a na ha mani.
Okay, right. Ina ndo ya botsa bana ba bila o dala sianda. Mo ba kele ke se ba ka se ke ba le bo ke na Privillege Manyike na bile hape le Audrey Ramalepe ba le ba ka ba le kwa university la ya Venda ba ita Univen ka bo bana a bile bana bile ba le practical wana kwa ora le beaches South Africa ile go tsa bushiaka ka mo tikulung ya series ba bile re tsa bushiaka ka urialo ina ndo ya bo tshara wa bana bile ba dala sianda ka sa ba le maro wana na bile o khona ka ruteya o miye mwe bana wa yapa gore wa ikira tilokulu gore a ile mafela mathomathomo a lore mana bile a ba lona la tsana bile ya mo la fase ba re ke yona mafu a ratwa khumile ka protein ka mo ka bana bile ba le ka hona o mehe ngwana kana ba mama a bile ba tsharawa o doduwa khona ka bola hamza ba fela ka mo khana bile ba ka hona ibile ba tsharawa mafi anale la bile a dia gore ngwana o mo fi mezi ka a to a khumile mafana ka mkhana bile ba ka hona ile go mafona a letswelo nna ena ke Joey wa Rababane mo tswa ga bona mo sekose insider.